And we got Gamma coming up next. Good to see you, Team Gamma, the website edition of Gamma here in the Gamma Lab. So you guys know, Gamma is a platinum sponsor, making this event possible for the Scale with AI Summit to bring you all of these great, amazing speakers and these demonstrations. And we built our entire Scale with AI Summit website on top of Gamma. And so I'm looking forward to this session today. Deho, Hillary, Allison, are we waiting for anybody else today?
Nope, that is the group today. So
All
you all
right.
met me and Deho yesterday, and I'll let Allison introduce herself as well.
Hi,
Fantastic.
excited to be here. I'm Allison. I'm a designer at Gamma. I've been at the company for about 3 years, and I've worked across the whole product. So AI, growth, presentations, whatever, like you name it, I've probably worked on it. Yeah, really stoked to be here and share knowledge with you guys.
We had a lot of folks that were super excited about building websites yesterday. So we went through building a pitch deck yesterday, but today we're going to be doing a website. So similar fashion, we're going to do this in a similar way to how Melissa and I worked yesterday, where Alice and I are going to collaborate. She's a fabulous designer, so I'm going to let her do the designing portion of this. But I would like to open up a small coffee shop in a container park, which actually is a legit thing I'm considering. There's a container park by my house that's really cool. And so we want to build a website for this. I already have put in some of my information into ChatGPT just to get a sense of like how I should build this site, what I should include. And so Allison has that as well. So Allison, I'll let you share the screen and
Yeah, here we
let's
go.
make ourselves a site. Yeah.
Oh, let's make ourselves a site. It might be fun for you guys to know. Hillary and Deho know this, but I actually used to be barista professionally. I worked in coffee for several years, and I have friends who own shops or like work at shops, and I help them out. So this is very up my alley too. But yeah, Hillary sent me this proposal doc, so I'm just gonna import it with AI. I think you guys saw the generative flow. So we'll hit web page, then continue. And we have some options here about what to do. I think I really like ideogram. I think ideogram and flux are pretty nice, turn out pretty good images. And if they don't, at least we'll have a good laugh. Yeah, I think all this content looks good. This is what Hillary sent me. So we're just gonna let it go. Anyone have any color suggestions? Probably something brown.
Yeah. Wait, we had everyone vote yesterday, but if anyone has preferences, shout them out.
And favorites.
Yeah, shout them out in the chat, guys. Light or dark?
Yeah, light or dark. That's the first choice. All right, light.
Yeah, light's definitely winning today. Dark did win yesterday, so.
Yeah, okay, we'll switch it up then. The nice thing is it's really easy to change once you're in. So
Someone's got the cream and latte. Do you have the coffee-ish color?
I think we have one called cream. There we go. All right, this seems like a winner.
I like it.
All right.
Ooh,
Ideogram.
and we already have a question in the chat, Allison. What made you pick ideogram for your model?
Oh, I actually don't know how it's pronounced, but whatever.
I don't know. That's how I'm saying.
I tend to just like the output. So I think I really Flux Pro and Ideogram. I think just like the general level of quality tends to be the highest and like most consistent for me. I actually designed the AI image generation features. And so I've spent a lot of time with a lot of these models, just like running them over and over and over again. And I feel like Ideogram and Flux are the two that lately have been the most like consistent. Okay, so we got Bean There, Brew That, a coffee community hub in the Block Container Park. Cute. All right, it's looking pretty good, I feel. This is great because obviously we just imported a proposal and we have what looks like a pretty good site. I think we should probably add a contact us, right?
Yes, we should definitely add that.
Yeah.
We might want to add a full-on menu page as well, too.
Totally. Oh my God, let me move my Zoom UI. It's fraught. I feel like we've used this for so long. All right, let's try adding a page with AI. So let's do a menu page for a coffee shop called being there through that.
And y'all will notice when she selected that page, it's very similar to the same generate flow that we saw for the pitch deck and that we saw for building the site as well. It's this rinse and repeat generation flow, which is really nice. So as you get familiar with it, it doesn't really change too much from different formats.
Yeah, totally. And I think I'm gonna get rid of this. And maybe let's just say we're a small coffee shop, we're just starting, so we won't have breakfast. We're just gonna have like pastries and baked goods. And I feel like location and hours is pretty important, so I'll move that up. So these things you can move them around. They don't have to like stay in the order that you put them. And we're gonna say that our coffee shop is in Santa Fe.
I like that.
Specialty drinks, we'll say it's fall season, so let's make sure we add the pumpkin spice latte. That'll pay. And yeah, I think we're good to go. So we'll just make that page and add it. Does anyone have a favorite coffee beverage?
Nitro.
You can see
fan
that.
myself.
What?
Nitro?
Yeah.
Nitro? Yeah, I like a nitro. I just love a smooth, just like black coffee.
Spice chia.
Ooh, I would try that.
Okay, it's thinking.
There we go. All
Oh.
right. But it didn't actually give you the menu.
Yeah, all right. But that's okay, because we can just use a little more AI. So add a menu here.
And Allison got to this option by clicking the plus sign underneath.
Yeah, right here, this sparkle one. Include spice chai, nitro, cold brew, and spice latte. So we'll just see what it picks. I like these.
I was going to say, while it's generating, the image is really nice, but if we didn't like that image, clicking into it, similar to how we were changing images yesterday, you can do the same thing and regenerate.
Or this. And the nice thing about the way the themes are built is that a lot of them have keywords, so you can hit this. And if you just use these, it should like unify the look across. But let's say I wanted to go with, I don't know, like a claymation style, then I can just change this style and not change the prompt. And it should give me some like cute claymation, like coffee shops. We'll see, fingers crossed. The claymation one's a little
Claymation's hit or miss.
but it's really fun no matter what.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Right.
While we're waiting for those, because Zoom does not love when things are generating.
Oh,
also, just to call out, we're building this as a secondary page. So on the left-hand side, you can already see that there's this home page, Being There, Brew That. But Allison actually made a secondary page. And later on, we will show you how to link from the home page and build nav bars and things like that. But just wanted to call that out.
Yeah. So I think this menu is like off to a good start, but I think the table is like underwhelming. So I'm actually just gonna go to edit with AI and maybe say try a different layout, make it a little more visual, just something nice. Okay, I think that works, but I think what would be nice is if we had some like icons here. So I just changed the smart layout. These are called smart layouts. You may have encountered these yesterday, but we have a bunch of different styles. So I really like this icons of text one for something like this. So I can say like tea, right? And then we have all this like icons from this icon library in here. And like I put coffee. And I could put a pumpkin here. Cool. But it did take away the prices. Let's see if we can get those back in. Add prices back. Each item. Okay, great. So yeah, that's our menu.
Nice.
So let's link this back to the home page. I think we're already on the menu, so we don't need that. And oh no, okay, there we go. One thing we can do is upload a logo. We have header here. By default, your site will have a header. And I have some logos. So let's go with this. It's nice and simple. So when someone's looking at your site, this should just link them by default. This just links back to your homepage. So we have like a homepage link there, but we could also add one here. So when you click onto like a button and start typing, some pages from your same site will show up. So if you have like 20 pages, let's say you have a site that is just like one page for each like of the 50 states, then each one of those or some of those should show up here. So if you start typing like Colorado, then Colorado will show up. But in this case, we have been there, breathe that. So all I had to do is just click on that, and now it like links to the homepage. If we click it, then yeah, that's the homepage. Cool. So we only have two pages. So like home, and I'll delete that because we don't need it.
And we have some few questions. So one
Yeah.
person's asking, the AI in Gamma created a website based on the uploaded information. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I uploaded this doc, and that went into this homepage. So I asked it to condense the information there to cut down on some of the wordiness to the details. So it just took what was in that Google Doc and typed it through.
And then next, can you share how to make a new page with a site that is set up with a domain? Kind of an advanced question for now.
Sure. We can handle the site setup stuff. So we have the domain. Actually, let's share this with Hillary.
Perfect.
And then,
Thank you.
all right, so Hillary will pop in and she can start editing. Hillary has a domain, so she can set that up. Maybe, should I switch it to you?
I think the auto setup should work. If it's the DNS may not like
Okay,
verify,
sorry.
but that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so it's being there brew that
Brew that coffee.
coffee.com, right?
Yep. Yep. That's me.
Let's
Are
hit
you missing
add.
an E? You're missing an E.
Oh, being there brew that coffee.com. All right.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna try automatic setup. And it's gonna think.
And if you don't have, well, it's thinking, if you don't have a custom domain already, we don't sell them, but we do use a third party called Ionos, which does allow you to purchase directly, like without leaving Gamma.
I'm gonna forward this to you, Hillary.
That's fine. If it doesn't fully set up either, too.
Yeah. So if you wanted to add another page, right? Like you can hit this and then add that page. And so we can just go into this menu. And let's make this like an About Us page, right? So you can control the path here and then just save it. So you can change that. So again, it's right in this menu right here. And
Your
then
page looks a little different than mine. So I'm just trying to figure out because I have a domain set up for one, but I'm stuck with how to get it to adding a second page, just like what you're doing right now. So I'm just trying to
adding
make
a
sure I can
second
follow.
page. So the second page button should be right here. So if you, whoops, sorry, Zoom UI everywhere. So if you click on this up here, like the name of whatever the page you're on, so it should be your site name, and then the name of the
okay.
page. And then it'll open this panel, and then you should have all these options.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and then you should be
That's what I
able
was
to
missing.
read the page, read the path, read a description, all about us. And yeah, set it up. Okay. Hi, Hillary.
I should unmute when I'm speaking. I did approve the domain, so that should be good to go.
Okay. All right, let's see. Oh. Sorry, you have to watch me.
There's a coffee in there too. I know there's nothing more nerve-wracking than typing in front of people.
I'm like a pretty good speller until like I'm typing in public and then I'm like, oh, English. All right.
So if you hit authorize, it should work now since I've logged in. Yep. Oh, it's making you do the same thing again. Interesting.
Okay. We don't need to do that right now. Let's go to more of the fun stuff.
Basically, you're going to go and you're going to verify your details to make sure that you actually own this domain, and then it will proceed with the automatic setup. All is good, providing all is well. I believe that is set within 24 to 48 hours. Is that correct, Deho?
Yeah, it'll verify within 24 hours. If it's set up
Yep.
properly, it should happen much faster than that.
In my experience, it happens pretty fast. I'll go on a quick side tangent. I've actually made like a couple of like fun sites in Gamma. I made this for my dog and You can check it out at orzo.gamma.site. And yeah, I think
He's so cute.
he's actually here today. He's over there. He was just yelling right before I hopped on. Told him, shh. All right, cool. So as my client, Hillary, how are we looking?
Yes.
What do we
It's
need to like bring this cross?
it's yeah, so it's looking pretty good, but I do think maybe there's folks that are interested in learning more about us. Maybe they're investors, maybe they want to work for us. We should have some sort of form to collect their information.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I have a contact us card I just made. And right now, you can't embed forms. There is no form builder in Gamma. That's something we're working on figuring out how we want to integrate. Definitely on our radar though. So I made this fill out form and I'm just going to embed it, paste it in here. So what I did was I typed /embed, and then you can say like what page you're at, and then I'll just paste this code in here. And then change the display setting to embed. And now when someone gets here, they can fill out this form. I can set the click action to either expand or open it in a new tab. So if you just want someone to fill it out in a new tab, you could do that. Or when they click on it, it should expand like this. And then, you know, you can just fill it out.
This is nice.
Yeah, so we got a contact us page. Let's see, I'm not
Perfect.
sure how this background looks. So one of the cool things about cards is that you have a lot of different options for how your card looks and how the image looks. So these are called card layouts. I don't know if Melissa went over this yesterday, but you
A little
can,
bit, but it bears repeating.
cool. I'll just run through it really quickly. So you got the image, and this image can go in the top, the left, the right, or behind. And then you also have these overlay effects. So this faded one, I'm not loving how it looks. Frosted, it's hard to see. I think the clear is cool, but it's a little hard to read. So maybe let's try faded, and then you can also change the color of the overlay. I think that looks nice.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Flexible. If I wanted to change the color of these like individual boxes, I could do that too. So it can just get lighter. And maybe we should add like a social media card. Find us on social media. So let's see. I think the best way to do this would be to do a layout. And I think I want the icons one because we already have, it's really convenient. There's already social media icons in here. So I can go to Instagram. Oh, it was right here. I can do Instagram and let's say LinkedIn, and maybe we'll do like a phone number too, right?
I like that.
Then I can
And just
put,
as a call out back to yesterday, like the layouts that Allison is pulling up are the same ones that you can pull from that right-hand insert bar. We just tend to use, especially at Gamma, we tend to use like quick keys and shortcuts whenever possible. And so the slash command is like one of our favorites, but you can find these all in the right-hand insert panel too.
cool. So I can do it this way and write the info in. I could make this a link. So I can hit Command K, or I can go in here and choose link. And something that's really nice is that all the shortcuts are in the label, right? So this says underline, and then it says Command U, and that'll be your shortcut for how to do this quicker. You know, same with the link. So it's link, Command K. Okay, so I like this, but we could also do a button.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cool things about buttons, let's see, maybe instead of a phone number, because it's annoying to have to pick up the phone while you're like making coffee, we could do an email. Something cool you could do is say mail to, and then be in there through that coffee@gmail.com. And now when someone clicks on this, not right now because I'm an editor, but when someone clicks on this, it'll open a link to with an email open to send you that email. So that's one of the main workarounds for us not having like real native Gamma forms is having a button that opens the email. So I could do that too for these links as well. Just make everything a button. Actually, let's see if AI can do it. Turn the text links into buttons.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, let's see. Something went wrong. So don't know what it was. turn the text into buttons.
It happens to us too. AI is not perfect.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot.
All right, I'm still thinking. It's waking up. It's also having coffee.
It is.
Actually, I'm silly because this is my own feature that I made. So if I had a link in here, right? If I had .com, I actually didn't need to do that because if you have a link added, you can just go here and then transform it into a button. And then you can also transform it into a preview or one of those embeds. So I could do that with this contact form too, right? If I wanted to take it from an embed, I could just turn it into a button and say, fill out this form, right? But then if I go back, I can just turn it back into an embed again. So links can mutually transform into one another. I think it's really useful when you're not really sure how you want to display content or like what kind of works best for what format you're going for or like what vibe you're going for. Yeah, just fun thing that. So
Something fun that I did while you were doing that is that I actually commented on one of the pages.
Ooh, let's go
and I
find it.
tagged you because this is collaborative and we're able to work together on this, even from a distance.
Okay, let's see.
There we go. That one. Yep.
Here it is. Found it. Oh yeah.
But this is one of my favorite features of Gamma is just being able to collaborate in real time while we're working on something. So even while we were planning for this summit, we had a doc going and all of us were in it and we were commenting and leaving our questions and our ideas and generally communicating.
Yeah, so you can see a little comment bubble here, and then I can open this up and see all the comments. So if there were more comments further down the page, I would be able to see those too. And then if Hillary leaves me a comment right now, it should show up right here.
I'll leave you another comment. It was great.
We had a quick question from Darby.
Yeah.
Where did you get the social icons from?
The social icons come from the built-in icon pack that's in Gamma. If you just for type /icon, there's a bunch of icons in here. There's more than the scroll, but there's a bunch of icons in here. So I can use this Facebook icon, or I can search for, let's say like banana. I'm eating a banana right now. So, and I can like use a banana icon. They are like automatically styled for your theme to match your theme, which is really nice. So if I change the theme now, you can see the color of the banana is changing to just like suit
One
that
thing
theme.
I noticed with the themes when I was going through and making some is that the images don't change with the theme.
Yeah, that's something that we're thinking about right now because the images are generated with the theme that you like started with, right? So one thing that I'm advocating for that I think would be really cool. So let's change it to something really different. We'll go Stardust. Oh, these actually look pretty good with Stardust because it's orange with this one. One thing that I'm advocating for is for us to have an action. So we have this edit with AI menu here, right? So let's just try this. Let's say regenerate all images to match my current theme. Let's just see how it does. But I think there's a sort of smarter way we could handle this if we detect that your theme changed. But that's on the docket for next
And not
year.
every theme has the stylistic keywords, I believe, right,
That's
Allison?
true. Most
Yeah.
of them do, but not all of them. All right, let's see what happened. Okay, yeah, these look good. That is
That's an
not
interesting one.
that's fine.
Something I was experimenting with the images and setting up custom themes once you knew what your branded colors and such would be, is you could set up more prompts to be specific for how you want the images to generate.
Yeah, totally.
Inside that prompt stack. And so once you have a consistent brand theme and style and there's some customization, I found that
Yeah,
was really helpful for aligning the images on more consistent outputs for new pages to generate.
that's a great point. So you can customize your themes. So there's a couple ways to do this. So if you want to start from net new, you can go to new theme and then go through this theme builder. But if you like something that's already built and you just want to add your own branding, you can hit customize and then I can say go to images and then like you're saying, just modify these keywords that come with, or if there aren't any, just write my own. So I could say maybe instead of cream beige and like light beige, I want cream like green and like dark brown. So now it would generate images like more along that style. A lot of themes also have these built-in, they're called accent images. So they're just like vibey, like beautiful things that come by default. And if you just sort of need a placeholder, need something decorative, like accent images are perfect for that. But this is really nice because I think this theme is like pretty close to what we wanted already. And all I had to do was just modify keywords, maybe change the colors a little bit. I can actually upload our logo here. So I just uploaded this logo and you can see it's showing up in the bottom left now. And then when I save it, it should apply. And now you can see this bean is showing up in the bottom left. Okay, I think we're at a good point to preview what we've done so far. So I can go into preview mode and look at it. And oh, the image stayed. Yeah, I think it's pretty cute. Let's see how it looks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm liking this for PC.
Okay, for tablet, it's a little squish. Tablets are like that weird in-between state. And then mobile, this is weird.
That's the one that's giving me pause. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So by default, Gamma reflows and resizes your content. So let's try it. Let's get out of, whoops. Oh, my bad. I just closed my browser instead of exiting the, oops. Live demoing, y'all.
It's so fun.
All right. So let's publish this. And then we can all take a look at it.
And just a reminder to folks, anytime you make a change to your site, they will not be publicly viewable until you publish them again. So publish is your save functionality for websites.
All right, I just sent the link in the chat, so y'all can take a look if you want. But on the actual site, you can see that the content reflows itself as I make the screen smaller and smaller. Hopefully this is coming across on the screen share.
It is.
It's just like squishing to fit itself to that like phone size. So these you can see they are stacked vertically now, whereas on the desktop version of the site, these go horizontal. So the thing I always found really annoying about like website builders, because I'm a designer, I had to build my portfolio, get a job at Gamma. And when I did that, I did it in Webflow because Gamma's website features didn't exist yet. And I spent so much time futzing with the responsive stuff. It took me so long. Like I was really pleased with my desktop version. And then I was like, I spent probably the same amount of time just getting it to work on mobile. So the nice thing is that Gamma makes it so you don't have to worry about that stuff, which is like such a blessing. Okay, any suggestions from the chat where we could go? Do you have any curveballs, requests, any things you want to see here?
I know Darby was suggesting just how to add Google Tag Manager for tracking analytics purposes. Maybe just point them where you go to that. We might not be able to go to the Google side of it, but where in Gamma do you go?
Oh, I think I need your help for that. I haven't done that before.
Just under
Site
site settings.
settings.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
site settings.
And then settings, the actual settings.
Oh, here we
Yep.
go. Nice.
And so if you have a Google Tag Manager ID, you can add that GTM tag to here and save it and publish your site. And then Gamma will all automatically add that Google tag to your site on every load. And then you would just have to configure it within Google itself.
Yeah.
Also good to note, that's where you can update the favicon. So for your browser, you can customize that and it has the branding on point there.
Yeah, I can also update the site name and I can choose to have a nav bar or not have a nav bar. Oops, not at the top, so this won't show up. So I can turn the nav bar off, save it, and it goes away. So maybe if you just have one page, it's just like a splash page. You don't need it.
I think another thing I found useful was when you go to the upper right-hand corner next to publish, you do the page setup. So whenever you're sharing this on mobile, you can add your own, see what it's going to preview as if you go to preview.
Yeah.
If you want to customize that so that whenever you're sharing it over text, it looks a little bit more on brand. Another question about the chatbot, think we brought it up a little bit yesterday, but that would be really cool to be able to integrate a chatbot function here so people could interact with that support feature or something on site.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a really interesting thing for us to consider. I think if you have like feedback or like a use case in particular that you're looking for here, come in. Sorry, a bunch of people just got out of a meeting and stopped and were like talking to my dog through the door. It's pretty funny. We have a glass door. But yeah, if you have more feedback or questions about this like chatbot use case, I think definitely share it with us. So something that we have that's a really cool thing for us to gather customer feedback as well for customers to be able to like vocalize their thoughts and requests is we have this tool called Canny. So this is where we have our changelog. And if you want to leave feedback, you can go to share feedback right here and then just type in your idea, right? So if you're like AI chatbot, and then you can just describe what you're going to use it for. And then anyone else who's a Gamma user can come in here and they can upvote your idea or add a comment. So I can like hop in here and then you can see my colleague Nick is replying. You'll see Hillary, you'll see me commenting here. You can just
I
add
called
your...
that out yesterday. I was like, your ideas do not go into a black hole.
Yeah, they
Me,
don't.
Nick, Allison, we're all looking at these.
Yeah, we're looking. Yeah, we are looking and sharing with the rest of the team, elevating the visibility and really trying to advocate for you guys internally. Because I think something that has really helped us thrive as a company, right, is following.
Feedback.
Yeah, following the feedback, really being in tune with what our customers need.
Going to some of the things that are being said in the chat. Currently, right now, I think Deho just posted this. We don't allow editing or adding custom HTMLs. The code is not editable at this time, which is why you can't embed a chatbot. It's definitely something that gets requested, I think, on a daily basis at this point now, along with being able to integrate with Facebook Pixel. I feel like those are one of our two highest voted feedback pieces. So the team is definitely very much aware of this.
Yeah, totally. And I would say that on our side, some of these features are partially just we have a lot of balls in the air and we have a really small team until the core product was shipped with 12 people. That's it. And then we've grown to about 25. So we're just ramping everyone up and trying to like get everyone in a place where we can like really go and get that momentum back. And the other thing is implementing some of these features in a way that is like right for Gamma and really thoughtful and intentional and that can really like elevate your like use of the product. There are certain things that we could just like slap in there, but I think the thing that sort of sets Gamma apart is how much attention and how much care we put into developing these things from the design side and the engineering side to make sure they're like easy to use and they just like are rock solid and work well. Because first mover advantage doesn't mean much if it doesn't work.
No.
The question and the chat about the Typeform, because that was one I use Typeform all the time, and I noticed you guys had the integration with Typeform on the very bottom of the right, one of those integrations. So
Yeah.
whenever I did have that, actually made it super smooth to embed a Typeform, and then people could just not even have to open a new page.
Yeah, totally. So you can drag, whoops, that one. So you can drag in like a Typeform here. Okay, well, I'll just do that one. You can drag in a tally form, but if you open this menu right here and scroll down, you can see all these other media types, right? So I can change this to a type form. You can add your Calendly if you want to take meetings, book meetings, and that's really useful. And really all you have to do is just paste in the link and it should be good to go. I'll go back to this one because that's just what I have ready. But if you just paste in this link, then Gamma takes care of the rest. If you just paste in the link and change it to embed, then when I go to publish, if you guys wanted to fill this form out right now, like you could. It's doesn't really do anything, but you could.
Fabulous. What other questions do folks have? We've covered like pretty much all of the features of sites right now. We have multiple pages. We published it. We've built our little nav bar. We've done some designing work. What other questions do people have? I know something that gets asked often. Can we revert a site back into a document?
The eternal, yes. So right now the answer is no, but we are actively working on the engineering and design side to unify this vision of what a Gamma is and like how it works. So soon you should be able to, but right now you can't. If you want to take all this content out, one of the things you can do, this actually comes out a lot too. is like, how do I take cards from one gamma and put it to another? So this is called
Yeah.
the film strip on the left. So you have this open, and you can't have the film strip open, unfortunately. But if you just close this panel on the side, the film strip should come up. So I can select all of these, and then I can either Command C to use keyboard, or I can hit copy here, right? And now I can just go into a new doc, and I can paste. I'm going to Command V, paste all of these in. So now all of the cards that were in there are in here. And then if you wanted to like uncite something, right? I could take this down. So I can just,
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to show as well, how you can disable site.
oh, I went to public. Okay, so I can go to site settings.
Yep.
And then you can just turn it off right here.
Mhm. But that where you were clicking to is probably a good thing to show too. Within the gamma domain, the gamma.site domain, you can also change that.
Yeah, so say like BTBT copy. Then I can change this gamma domain.
A little bit. You won't be able to change the suffix basically. but-
Yeah. If I wanted to say like Allison's cool site, I can do that too. Oops, misspelled that. That's good. But yeah, so now I've disabled the site. So if you do go to that original domain, there's nothing here. So
Something
if,
else to call out too, sometimes folks will put like a subdomain for the homepage that has to be blank in order for that to be shown as the homepage.
yeah,
So like
right,
this URL path needs to be empty just for the home.
yeah. So if I start typing, this, and then I save it, now you can see that homepage designation has been taken away. But if I go back and then I delete it and hit save, then it comes back. Cool. How are you in chat? Let me just
I
check
have a few
quick.
questions. Darby was asking about a supplicate site is coming soon.
Duplicate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was like, I didn't understand the question.
Yeah, so duplicate the same functionality or the same like infrastructure that will allow us to delete sites will also allow us to duplicate sites. So right now, the best way to do that duplication is to go through the same process that I showed, where you just copy all these cards. You go to a new gamma, right? You paste them in, and then you can go through the site setup. Again, another thing to maybe call out is that you can turn a gamma, like a regular gamma. So this is just a doc, right? It's not a site. I have a present button here, so I can present. So I can go here and say publish to site. And then I can convert this to a site. And now I have another version of this. You can also take a page that exists. I'm just going to make a new page here. So I just went to the dashboard and I said new from blank, new page. I can say publish a site, and then I can add it to an existing site. So I want to put it in, oh, mine isn't published right now, which is why it's not showing up. So I could add it to any of these, and then it will show up in that site. I'm not going to do that because this is our contractor's design space, and I don't want to mess with their work. But in theory, if you wanted to create your pages on the side and not have them like here, you could do that and then just add them later as you finish your work. Cool.
We have another question as well. Can you dynamically update content through API or no code automation like Zapier? The answer is no, not right now. That is not supported. I imagine that's probably a similar mechanism to allowing code changes and HTML edits, and that's just not something that we offer yet. Good question, though, Steve.
Totally. I think again, that sort of request is a perfect one to put in Canny. And as when you write things, I would encourage you guys to be as detailed as possible about your use case and what you're trying to achieve here, because that helps us build the best thing for you and reduce some of the guesswork we have to do. Yeah.
What other questions do y'all have? This one went a little bit faster than what we did yesterday.
Okay, maybe I can show you how I built that Orzo site. I'll take you behind the scenes. But first I have to find it in our workspace, which is, don't judge me, there's a lot of random stuff in here. Okay, here we go. 1 second. This is Orzo. This is my little baby. His cup runneth over when it comes to personality. And when we were building some of the site stuff, I was like, I don't know, let's just make a personal site for my dog. I don't need a personal site. I'm not looking for a job, but ours is really funny. So a couple of the things that are going on here. So I'll go to the live page. So one, I hacked anchor links. So if you click About Me, it'll scroll down the page to this About Me section. And the way that I did that was each of these is a card, right? So I took the card link, copied it right here, and then I went here and I just pasted it in. And so now when a user comes here, I can send you guys this as well, and you can take a look. Oh, it's gonna take you to that card, but that's okay. So now when someone comes to the site, they can just jump down to About Me, my services, me in action. So that's one of the, I think, like really cool things I did here. We don't have like actual like anchor links built out yet, but if this is something you wanted to do, you just have a one-pager site, that's totally possible. Just copy the card link right here and then drop it in. This is a generated GIF. I would need to look up the tool I did this in because I did this like several months ago, so I forgot. And I just plopped it in. So like GIFs work in Gamma. They're like a really fun way to like spice up your site. I really like playing with the text sizes. So we have like font that can get pretty big. And I think that's a nice way to add some sort of visual like interest here. And then I think another thing to highlight is galleries, which I don't know. Did you guys go over this yesterday?
Just a little bit. So we didn't focus on any specific layout. So this is helpful to cover. Yeah.
Cool. So galleries are a really good way to add a lot of images. We have a couple settings here. So I can make all these images bigger, or I can make them smaller if I don't want it to take as much space. If right now, all these images are stretching to fill, right? So you can see these two are just filling the space. But if I turn this setting off, then it fits all the images. So they're just their original size. We have a couple layouts that are options. So depending on how you want your content to look, like maybe you have like product photos or something, or I don't know what else, but you could use a grid and then everything will be very uniform. So you have like square, landscape, portrait, right? Like maybe you're a photographer and you want it to look like an Instagram grid, so you can do that. And the other thing is logo, and this is not going to work with these photos of Orzo, but if you have, let's just make a new gallery and we'll look for like logo. So we'll put in the Starbucks logo and logo. We'll put in, let's say BMW. So if I set this to logo, then it automatically shrinks the logos down and adds really nice spacing. So if you have that really classic, you can adjust the spacing a little bit. So you have that really classic slide that's sponsored by, then Gamma just takes care of this for you. Just drop it in, set it to logo, and adjust the size and spacing to whatever you want. It's like really nice. This is one of my favorite features, actually, this logo block or the logo gallery. I think it just works really well. Other things that I did here, so if you wanted like a quote, there's a couple ways to do this. So what I've done here is use a call out box. So I used a note box. I set it to black. And then I got rid of the icon and then just added text and like the attribution. And I think this is a really nice way, especially on a website, to break up some of that visual space, right? Because we have these full bleed cards and you can change it from full bleed to not full bleed. But this is like another good way to just change up the layout a little bit.
If you want some
Yeah.
guidance on what people are interested in, there's two
Oh, yeah.
questions about how to add videos.
Okay, cool.
One is just how do you add a video? And the other is a question, is there best practice for adding videos in a gallery? Or is it even possible?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me make a new thing. So let's go to, I'm just going to grab something from YouTube. So sure, this works. So the thing about videos is that we don't have video upload right now. What you can do is embed like a YouTube video. So I just pasted this link in, right? Or you can go to YouTube and then paste the link here. And this should just play, like when you click on it, it should just work. If you have okay, good. I'm glad this works for you, Sherry. If you have a Google Drive link, the best way to do this is either to upload it to YouTube as like an unlisted video, or you can upload it to like Google Drive and then use that link. There's a couple hoops that you need to jump through if you do that. So I would need to share more on that later because it's a little bit not that straightforward. There's just like a lot of menus in Google Drive you need to hop through. But yeah, this should work for Vimeo too. So any sort of video, like the nice thing about the way that this media picker is built is you can actually just paste in like anything, and Gamma should detect what that thing is and change the type. So if I go to Figma, I have a YouTube and it like knew that it was a YouTube video and just changed it to that, right? It's not trying to insert a Figma. So most things in Gamma are pretty smart. Like they can detect like what they are or like what they should be based on whatever you put in.
Do you have any tips? Is
So-
it possible to make videos appear like a gallery?
Yeah, totally. So you can go gallery and then I can paste in a video. So this is that same video. And you can put as many as you want. So if you had maybe a course and then you have a bunch of videos, right? Like you can just put those all in this gallery and say like course module 1 and just have them all right here. You can rearrange them. So I can just drag this. Whoops. Sorry, I'm blocked by Zoom. But you should be able to rearrange them. Although maybe that's not
Are you
working right
able to
now.
adjust the spacing?
Yeah, you can adjust the spacing. I can turn off this fill setting so then it'll look better. And I think this is one of those places where that grid setting comes in handy. So now they look pretty uniform, looks pretty nice. And you could embed the web page in here too. If I wanted to go and type in orzo.gamma.site, then now this site's in here as well. The other cool thing about galleries is that they're a carousel. So once I open one thing in the gallery, it's hard to tell because they're all the same video, but I can jump to any of the other things. So if you were presenting, let's say this is a course again, you could just hit play this video. When it's done, hit your arrow key and just go to the next one and the next one and the next one. So yeah, galleries make it really easy to present like multimedia content. They're really flexible and they just do the annoying work for you, hopefully.
Okay. And then this person's asked a follow-up question is like trying to do layout with video on one side, text on the other, like image card layouts, but couldn't figure out how to do that.
Oh, so you want it to be like this and then have this be a video and this be text. And ideally just be a video. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yes,
Okay.
Yep,
he
that's what he's saying.
confirms. That's
This is something I really want. I'm pushing for this internally, so I'm with you. It's not, it doesn't work right now. The best way to do this would be to have a blank card and then insert columns. I'm typing /column, but if you want to go to layouts, I think
It's the second from the top. Yep.
yeah, so you could drag to insert columns too. This would also work. So the best way to do this is just have columns, put in your video, and then add text here. Columns, you can change the vertical alignment of things. So I can have it center at the top, center at the bottom, center at the middle. So that can help with some of the sort of spacing stuff, since the videos can be short in their preview. I can also change this to be like a full bleed card. I think that looks a little better. And then if you want like a narrower card, you can do that here as well. If you were to present this, Gamma will take care of just what it should look like. So it just makes it sure it looks good once you go into present mode. All right.
Fabulous. Steve says this is awesome and very helpful. So
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad. I have a lot of like Gamma hacks and knowledge in my brain.
yeah. And then another question from earlier that I didn't get to is can you easily format the cards for social media posts on LinkedIn or Instagram?
Yeah, so we are about to launch some social media settings to make it a little easier. So if you go to, I'll do that again. So you go to page setup, so click these 3 dots, go to page setup, and then in this dropdown, you can change it to social. Let's say I'm making a LinkedIn or like an Instagram post, right? I can use the square setting. You can also change it to like portrait or stories. So I actually recently helped out with a Halloween social media carousel. So I'll just hop in there. The other nice thing is that you can hit Command K and search your like Gamma workspace. So anywhere I'm about to hit Command and then K, and it'll just bring this up. You can search. So I made this carousel for our socials for Halloween. And you can see here in page setup, I have it set to social and then square. The content alignment is like centered by default. And then you can also change the font size. It scales dynamically. So if I want it to be smaller, I want to fit a little bit more text on there, I can set it to that. If I want it to be bigger, I can do that too. So the cool thing about this, so Gamma's cards are like a minimum height, right? They can grow with your content, which I think is really cool. But we also tell you when you've gone beyond. So this should be a square for social media. For Instagram, and this dotted line will tell me when I've gone too far. So anything beneath this content is like outside of that square and either won't show up or won't show up great in export. So I can just delete these, it's back to the square. But I think if you want to do a social media post, these background images work really great. You can use these faded effect and then apply this overlay to make it a little bit easier to read. Something you'll see I also did here was I hacked a footer for these cards. So we don't have an actual social media footer, but I just added a 2-column layout and then I have text. I set it to small. So I can do that by selecting it and then hitting this, or I can go in the front, hit /SM, and then hit enter, and it'll change the size. And then on the other side, I just have this 2, and I just set it to right alignment. So that's how I did this footer situation. Yeah, any other social questions?
I'm not seeing any in the chat. Is there anything special you would do to export this?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways you can get to export. So I can hit share and then it's over here. And then you can also get to it over here by export. A couple things to know is if you have custom fonts and you want to export this to like a PowerPoint, you'll need to have those downloaded on your computer. Gradient headings, PDF and PowerPoint don't handle these very well on export. So they'll just be a single color. But something that I think is really useful, this has saved me so much when I'm designing, is the ability to export as a PNG. So this is what you're going to want if you're doing social. So you can just hit export as PNG. Gamma will export it. It'll download as a zip file, and then you just unzip it and send it off into the LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever. Same thing with PowerPoint and PDF. Your downloads start, you actually don't need to like keep this menu open. Like I can close that and keep going, and then Gamma will tell you when it's like ready to go. If it doesn't download, you can just click here and it'll re-download it. So yeah.
Oh, we're running low on time, so there's another question. What are
Oh, yeah.
some of the ways that innovative creators are monetizing by leveraging Gamma that you've come across?
Oh, I think that the most like interesting things I've seen is this like course creation use case. So we have had a lot of creators like making courses, like making content in Gamma, which I think is just so cool. It's something I could have never expected when I started working here like 3 years ago. And one really useful feature for that is this like password protection, which I think also came up in the chat. So this isn't available for sites right now, but it will be. So you can go to share. Let me dismiss these. So you can go to share right here and then go into the share tab of the share modal and hit require password to view. So now I can enter like Halloween as my password. And anyone who goes to this link is going to have to type in Halloween in order to get in and see the content. So I think if you're a course creator, that's super useful. You just have your like digital storefront, and then when someone like pays, you send them the password and they can get access. Yeah, so we're like, I think basically at time. It has been really fun talking to y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful and you all learned
That
some
was
cool tips.
awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Did you guys like that session? Was that good? Need some pointers on how to optimize your background still. Like this. This is great.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. We'll be
Thank
back
y'all.
tomorrow. Allison, they don't know what we're doing yet tomorrow, so that'll be a surprise.
This is
Yeah.
gonna be tomorrow's my favorite session.
Awesome.
Same.
Well, tomorrow we're going live 12 Central and 12 to 1 for the final Gamma Lab of the week, day 3 of the summit. Thank you so much, Gamma team. We will see you tomorrow.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thanks, Darby.
you.